I have a confession to make. I love makeup. I have ever since I was 18 and modeled, and that was 58 years ago. That's crazy. But I don't waste money on products that don't work. I have tried so many over the years, and I'm going to share with you today the ones that I actually use, love, and reorder. So let's face it, beauty products can be absolutely overwhelming. There are way too many of them, they are far too expensive, and most of them leave us disappointed. The truth is, most products are not made for women over 55. I get a lot of requests from my community about what products I use and love. So I thought this was the perfect time to do it since Sephora is having a sale ranging from 10 to 30% off, depending on what your membership level is. The sale is going on now. You get 30% off any Sephora product through April 20th. If you're a Rouge member, you get 20% off. If you are a VIB member, the sale starts for you on April 14th and you get 15% off. And all of the insiders get 10% off starting on the 14th. So if you're not a member yet, just go to Sephora, register, make sure you're logged in, and use the code Spring Sale to get your discount. Hi, I'm Linda. Welcome to my channel, New Age Beauty, which is all about aging beautifully, mind, body, and spirit. At 76, I explore what's possible, what's worth doing, and how we can all exceed our own expectations for aging by shifting our mindset from growing old to growing bold and setting bold goals for ourselves. So I focus on encouraging women to step up rather than give up. But I also help them accomplish bold goals with my new app, the New Age Beauty Goal Tracker. And it's free. You can check it out at newagebeauty.com. But what it does is it allows you to figure out what your goals are and then set up a routine and then follow that routine and be consistent with that routine. It's for beauty, skincare, fitness, your workouts, wellness, and even it has a nutrition tracker. So it's the whole package, all the things that you do, because you can customize it for any routine that you want to follow. So I hope you will check it out. Again, it's free for now. At some point, I'm going to charge for it, but if you're already using it, it'll be free forever. So now I'm going to walk you through exactly what I use, why I love it, and what it actually does for you. And I'm going to link everything in the description box below, as well as in the top comment. And there's going to be a single page, a Shop My page, that allows you to just kind of browse through and check out and get more details. And also YouTube may have a little sliding like ticker with some of the products. First two products, Bobbi Brown. One is the Vitamin E Enriched Face Base, and the other is the Vitamin Enriched Eye Base. I have been using these for so many years, can't even begin to count. But they are holy grails for me. I don't even look for other products to prime my skin under makeup. Your makeup goes on so beautifully when you have these on your face. And they not only are hydrating, but they're so soothing and it smells so good. It's just a very luxurious experience. There's just no negatives with these products. I love, love, love. So here's another product. I use this at night. This is the In Beauty Project Extreme Cream Eye product, firming and contouring. And it has peptides and amino acids in it, and it helps decrease puffiness, wrinkles, and sagging eyelids. And they say that within a week you can actually see results. I don't remember when I first used it what my results were, but I liked it enough to keep using it. So it's the only eye cream product that I use now. So this, like the Bobbi Brown, is another holy grail product I have been using for so long I can't even remember. It is the Dr. Jart BB Premium Beauty Balm Multitasker with niacinamide. It hydrates, conceals, and protects your skin. It's an SPF 40. This is what I use for sunscreen. It doesn't have that white chalky look, and I have been using it, happily for so long that I don't even think about putting on more SPF unless I'm going out, in intense sun, going on a boat, or I'm going to be outside for a long time, and then I will put another product on underneath it. But it is so hydrating and it feels just yummy on your skin. This and the Bobbi Brown primers are the two products that I actually look forward to getting on my skin because they just feel so nourishing and so luxurious. So love, love, love this for years and years and years. So the next product, I'm now going to show you 4 foundation types of products that I use at different times for different reasons. And the first one has the least amount of coverage. It is the Serum Skin Tint by Yummy Skin. And it is it's very hydrating and again, very soothing on your skin. Not quite like the others, but it feels really, really good. And it gives a very natural finish and it goes on really, really quickly like a serum would. And it's as much skincare as it is makeup. So I love this just for a quick everyday look where you just want to feel, kind of effortless. It's my everyday foundation product if I have a work event, or I want to look, I'm getting a little more dressed up than just wearing jeans. So if I'm wearing jeans, I would wear typically the Yummy Skin. But if I have any kind of business meeting or event, then I would wear the Mario. And what's unique about it is it's very hydrating, but it also gives a blurred finish and 24-hour coverage. Very easy to put on. I mean, the stick, it's very, very moist, so you can just quickly put some on your cheeks all over and then take a brush and just brush it out. It blends beautifully, and you can actually layer more if you want a little bit more coverage. The finish is just perfection. So I wear this if I have some kind of a special event or some kind of I'm a little more dressed up. I want to feel a little more special. So this is the one I use. It's my step up from the Everyday Mario one. And what it says is it's a self-priming and self-setting foundation with breathable, medium to full coverage and a natural matte finish that brings out the best in your skin. So if you're looking for a matte foundation, I have it on today. I put a very, very thin layer on and blend it really, really well because it can be, full coverage very quickly. And so I'm just very pleased with it. For a matte foundation, they're hard because they tend to be drying, and this one is not drying at all. It really looks like skin up close. Now this one I got a little bit on the light shade. I'm actually going to get the next color up so I can mix them a little bit, or the next color may even be perfect. But I always err when you're picking out a color for foundation. It's always best as you get older to err by getting one shade lighter because light, again, it handles reflection better. So anyway, just keep that in mind whenever you order any foundation. So the next one is concealer, and this has replaced my prior favorite, which was the Estee Lauder Double Wear. And this is Charlotte Tilbury's new Airbrush Flawless Blur Concealer. And it has as much coverage, it has a lot of coverage, and it has a really neat, I love their doe foot applicator. It's kind of hard to see what it looks like, but it doesn't apply that much. So that looks like quite a bit, but it has a lot of density to the color. But what I do is I take my favorite brush ever. This is the Nikki LaRose N19, which, crazy enough, this is a concealer brush. If you don't have this, this is the one investment. They don't sell this on Sephora. This is at BK Beauty. I'll put a link to it just in case you're interested. But best concealer brush by far I've ever used. And so what I do is I just take the littlest bit on the very, very tip of this, and I place it right in the corner of the eye, and I start to drag it and pat it in place. I have no idea if this is coming out on the camera or not, but I mean, it is between the concealer and the brush, it is like the perfect concealer duo on the planet, I think. But then I also use it to touch up any dark places, any dark spots. It has a lot of coverage, but it's not thick and it's not drying. That's what's really unusual about it. It says crease-proof, long-wear blur concealer with hyaluronic acid. Highly recommend. So my color, I'm not sure I can see this. I'm I'm going to have to put it in the description box below. But anyway, I think it's called Clear. I will link it below, but fabulous concealer. So this is Westman Atelier's. This is a serum concealer, so it's a totally different texture. It's Vital Skincare Brightening Concealer with hyaluronic acid, and I wear color L2, which is light neutral. They don't have as big a shade range. I think they have about 16 to 18 colors, but it's more of a serum texture, so it's more liquidy than the other one, and you're probably not going to be able to tell. But here is the Charlotte Tilbury, and it's more matte. Whereas this one spreads a little easier, but and it's a little more hydrating looking, so it has a little bit more of a sheen to it than the Charlotte Tilbury one does. I prefer as matte as possible under the eyes as long as it's still hydrating. So that's why I reach for the Tilbury one a little more. But if I'm going a little bit lighter, if I'm wearing a serum, one of the serum or the more lightweight foundations, then I will use that concealer. So the next complexion product is pressed powder, my Charlotte Tilbury Refillable Airbrush Flawless Finish Brightening Powder. And I just got a new one. Couldn't wait for the sale on this one because I really needed it. But this works really well putting it on with a brush or with a puff. So this is my go-to powder. And what I love about it is that it is lightweight, microfine, and blurring. So it's just flawless. You just don't look like you have powder on when you use this, and yet it makes everything matte and sets it beautifully. So what it says is it brightens, blurs, and lifts your eyes and face while setting your makeup for up to 16 hours with no flashback. So I like to contour my face. I like to go under the cheekbones, up the forehead. Our foreheads lengthen with age, so shortening your forehead by putting shadow there, and then putting shadow under your chin, under your lip. In a variety of different ways you can contour the shape of your face. But it's very important to have a product that blends really well. So the one that I love now is by House Labs. It has a variety of colors. It has about 8 to 10 different colors. I used to use the Dior contour stick that matched the foundation, but it's a lot more expensive than this. And so I settled on this. What I love about it, it actually blends so beautifully. With contour, that's really, really important, that it be easy once you put it on, to blend the edges. You need to be able to blend it enough so that, you don't see demarcation lines. But if you do it too much, it's going to just disappear. And this texture of this one is just perfect for that, I think. So I've eliminated all of my other ones. And what it says is a precision contour stick that defines and visibly lifts with a buttery texture. That's well said. A buttery texture that effortlessly blends, seamlessly shapes, and sets for 12 hours. So love, love, love. That it's ultra hydrating, luminous, with buildable and blendable color that lasts up to 8 hours on cheeks and lips. It lasts more than 8 hours if you set it with setting powder, which I always do. So if you've watched any of my other makeup videos, 2 of these blushes are the same. I love them so much. First one is the Unreal Blush Healthy Glow Stick, Charlotte Tilbury again. And what's different about this one is that it has a nice sheen to it. I don't know if you can see it. So it looks moist, which is very youthifying, but it's not glittery or too gleamy. It just gives you a nice, kind of bouncy look to your cheeks. And this comes in 6 different shades. What they say about it is, so the other blush that I have loved for years is the Westman Atelier Mini Petite Baby Cheeks Lip and Cheek Blush Stick. They say you can use it on your lips. I have never tried that. Comes in 6 different colors, and this one is called Petal, which I think is the most popular one. So you'll see these next to each other. This is a little less blue undertone compared to the Charlotte Tilbury, but you can see there's more of a shine. I think you can see more of a shine with the Tilbury compared to the Atelier. So the Atelier is like a perfect everyday blush to go on. It's not because it's not as shiny or as gleamy, it just has a really natural flush. Whereas I feel like this one makes my cheeks look a little more bouncy. So it depends on what the occasion is. But they're both beautiful, and I have used them for a long time and will continue to. So here's another pressed powder product. It's One Size by Patrick Starr. It's his Boucle Silk Airbrushed Talc-Free Finishing Powder. And what I like about it is it has a really nice sheen. It's not shiny, but it looks like it has blurred your skin, but giving you just a little tiny bit of glow. As we get older, we have to be very careful with the glow. So to me, this is just enough without going too far. What it says, it's a baked finishing powder that creates an all-over airbrushed silk finish, visibly evens tone with sheer dimensional coverage in a range of flexible shades. It comes in 8 shades. So another great one to try. So there's one more pressed powder, and this is more on the luxury end of the scale. It's the Dior Forever Nude Matte and Radiant Pressed Powder. And you can see how beautiful the packaging is. And I wear this if I'm getting dressed up. It has a little bit more glow than the other ones do. So how it is described: a setting powder with a translucent, radiant, or luminous matte finish that sets makeup, blurs, and is infused with hyaluronic acid. And it comes in 8 different shades. So, it's just a little more special than the others. So I have this for special occasions. And so for bronzing powder, I use a classic. It's the Laura Geller Bronze and Brighten Baked Powder Bronzer. What I like about it is it has more of a pink undertone, so your skin doesn't look too orangey, especially if you're pale. That can be a big problem. So I think their light color works really, really well for fair-skinned people. Baked bronzer that adds natural-looking warmth with a creamy, weightless feel and skin-enhancing pigments. Perfect for bronzing or soft contouring. So that's the only bronzer that I actually use. So now I'm going to show you my favorite finishing powder. And this is by Hourglass. It is their ambient lighting powder in the color Luminous Light. And you'll see that it's just a very natural kind of fleshy color. But what it does is it just gives your face a little bit of glow without being shiny. Creates the perfect illumination for your face with Hourglass ambient lighting powder infused with the innovative photoluminescent technology. Each finishing powder captures, diffuses, and softens the look of your skin. The micro-sized color-correcting particles reflect light and create transparent coverage, filtering out harsh light and refining the appearance of the skin. So it's like a filter, but it kind of softens and dims the face in a sense. It just adds a beautiful finish that works at any age. But as the older we get, there's very few glow type products that work well on us, and this is the best. You may already have it if you have any of their, the Hourglass palettes. So if you have some of those, you should check first. You may not need this. And then here is one more blush. It's the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Blush in Diffused Heat. And this, again, gives you the same kind of glow, a little bit more glow. And this works really well on the center of your cheeks, whereas the other one is really to go all over the entire face. So beautiful, beautiful finish, brightens the skin, and just gives a nice overall lift to your face. Now for a great everyday blush. This is the classic NARS Iconic palettes. This one is in Amore. This is also the same formulation that they created, the NARS Orgasm, that's so famous and has been around forever. But this is matte, so it has no sparkle in it whatsoever, so there's no risk to it. And in this particular finish, to me, it's just, for a fair person, it's just kind of the natural color that your cheeks get when they flush, when you blush. And I think that's what blushes are all about, trying to create. But it's great for beginners and it's great for pros. It's incredibly blendable. And so, whether you're putting it over a powder or a cream, it really doesn't matter. It's going to blend beautifully. And then you can layer a little something on top of it if you want. So for example, oftentimes I will put the Dior Glow, what is it called? Rosy Glow, over it. But that will be the overall blush. And then I will just take some on a very lightweight brush, put a little bit on it, and then just go right in the center just to kind of perk up the skin a little bit. Probably won't show up on this video, but it does give you, it just really brightens the face up and gives you a very youthful glow. So I love those two together. On to liquid blush. There's one that I want to recommend, and it's by Rare Beauty. This is a mini version of it. And this is very similar to the Armani liquid blush that I love and was going to recommend, but this is so much more affordable, and it's very hard to tell the difference. This is in the color Encourage, but you'll see here, it's almost like a gel consistency, and that makes it spread really easily. It's easy to blend out the edges, and it's a very good price point. So I would recommend this out of all the liquid blushes at Sephora. So this is my favorite everyday palette. It's very natural looking. It has 5 different colors. It's the Natasha Denona Mini Eye Sculpt palette, and it's about contouring the eye. So you will see there's a very light tone, which would be for the brow bone, for the inner corner of the eye. Then there's a light beigey tone that put on the lid. Then we get a little bit darker to go into the crease, and then the darker brown you want to put on the outside and at the outer corner of the crease. And then the dark colors for eyeshadow. And then you can use a combination of these to put on under the eye. So it's very affordable because you don't have that many, whereas the other palette I'm going to show you has a lot more colors in it, so it's a lot pricier. But if you like just a natural, neutral look that works every day and you don't want to spend much, this is a great, great choice. And it lasts a long, long time because they're very dense. And then my next one is the Natasha Denona Eye Sculpt Texture and Tone Palette. So this is a lot pricier because there's so much product in it. So you can see there's 18 colors, and they range dramatically from very light to very dark. Some of them have a cream type of base to them, so they're a lot more dense. So those would be for close to the lash line mostly, and perhaps outer corner under the eye. There's a few shimmers like this one that you could use, right in the center of your eye or even up on your brow bone. But the pinks and the beiges, they all just blend beautifully together. So you can add a lot of color to your eyes, or you can keep it very, very subtle, and a lot of depth to your eyes with the darker tones if you want more dramatic. It's just a brilliant, brilliant palette. And if you have this, you really don't need anything else because you can create any look from everyday to high glam. So here's another choice by Mario. It's his Master Mattes, The Neutrals. This is another iconic palette that's been around for a while, but I continue to use this. What I like about this is it has some plum tones in it. So it has a lot of the similar tones that you get with the Natasha Denona, and they range from light, into the medium tone. Very few darks. This bottom row, they're dark, but they're not as intense as the other, with the exception of the black. But this has a really beautiful smoky plum that I love and use a lot. And a lot of times I will mix both of these palettes depending on what look I'm going for. So this is just a great palette that you might choose over the larger one, over the smaller one. So speaking of eyes, there's one more eye product that I use almost every day. And it can go on over a matte shadow. It can go over any kind of eyeshadow. I use it to add glimmer. And so it kind of picks up the color of whatever eyeshadow you're wearing because it's pretty sheer. It just adds a polish. So I will put this, I have it on today, just right in the center of the eye lid, and then just pat it down. And it makes your eyes a little bit glamorous. But not too much. And you can have more than one. If you want to have, layer on a couple of layers of it, you can make it very intense as well. But I love to just have it to highlight the eye and make your eyes look a little more special. I think it's subtle enough for any age, but it just steps up your look, elevates your look a little bit. Love, love, love that. So now we're on to my favorite category, lip pencils. So I have always been a lip pencil girl more than lipstick. I like it because you can contour, create shape with it. And you don't really need lipstick as well. You can put a little bit of lip gloss on, or if you want the color of lipstick, you can combine them. And I have just fallen in love with a brand new lip pencil. It's the YSL Love Nude Kiss Shaper sculpting lip liner in number 4 and number 1. And it's what I have on now. And then I have just a light gloss in the middle. What's amazing about them, I put this on my hand yesterday. I filmed this part of this video yesterday and realized that my sound wasn't working. So I had to redo it today, which is why this video is late. But I put this on to show the consistency. So it goes on like lipstick. Very, very, very smooth and blends really well. Here's the darker one. But I could not get it off. I mean, if it dries down, you have to use an oil cleanser to get it off. This was still on. I forgot to take it off before I went to bed. I woke up this morning, it was exactly the same. When they say non-transferable, boy, they really mean it. So to have a lip pencil that is not drying, goes on easily, blends easily, and doesn't move, that's astonishing. I mean, this is, I think, by far the best lip pencil that's ever been made. And I've tried pretty much all of them. So win-win-winner. So the YSL pencils are pricey. They're $28. If you're looking for a more affordable alternative, it's not quite the same, but it'll give you a similar look. That's the Tower 28, and the color is Fill Me In. What I love about this is it's not, I have it right here, it's not orangey like a lot of them, like Spice by MAC. I find most lip liners have too much of a rust tone in them, an orange tone. And this to me is the color of most people's lips. So to be able to contour your lips, now it doesn't blend like the YSL does, so you do have to do it more carefully and maybe use a brush to smudge out the edges. And it certainly doesn't last as much as YSL does, but it's a great everyday lip pencil, and it's $15. So this is what I recommend if you're looking for a value. So I am not a big lipstick fan, but there is one that I wear a lot, and it is by House Labs, Le Monster Lip Crayon, and it is on sale right now in addition to the discount. It's called Light Peony Matte, and I love how narrow it is. It's kind of like a pencil or skinny cigarette, a cigarillo, and the color is nice and bright and goes on really easily. It really blends nicely. I love this one, and I always carry this with me. So when I feel like a little color, that's what I put on. But I always put a little shine on top of it. And for that, I use the MAC gel. I don't think they have that at Sephora, unfortunately. They do have some MAC lipsticks, but I didn't see this one. So that's what I do. And then I will put a little bit of lip gloss. My favorite one is Fenty, the Gloss Bomb, just in the middle to hydrate and give me a little more shine, sparkle, but natural sparkle. I think it looks pretty without being too much. I think all of these things work at any age. I really do. It's just a matter of how you apply them. So I do have one other lipstick. It's a new discovery. It's MPH by Mary Phillips, and it's called a Lip Siggy, the Sheer Lipstick Balm. And what's interesting about it is it's like combining a lipstick and a gloss. It's sheer. We put it here. And it's very shiny, so it literally is combining a lipstick and a lip gloss. It's really quite beautiful, and it lasts pretty well, so that's one you might want to check out. And there's one more lip product. It's the Edam Lakushu Exfoliating Softening Peptide Lip Balm. Now that sounds really odd. When you think about exfoliating, you think about, sloughing off dead skin cells, right? Which means they need to dry. So this is saying it's exfoliating and softening, which is so interesting. And the other description says exfoliating to moisturizing lip balm with AHA and peptides to smooth, ashy, flaky skin, reduce lip wrinkles, and lock in moisture with a glossy finish. This comes in 6 different colors. So I will wear this. I wear this every day. And sitting at my computer, hanging out around the house, But sometimes if I'm going more casual, I will just put it on over my lip pencil. So it's very, very conditioning. So it's really more of a treatment than anything, but it looks like and feels like a balm, because it is a balm. So now we're going to talk about eye pencils. I have two that I love. The first one is Makeup Forever. It's their Aqua Resist Color Pencil, and I have mine in Sparkling Graphite. I have it on today. And what I love about it is it holds its shape pretty well. You know, sometimes the ones that are sharp are hard to put on. They don't blend well. So you want one that's soft enough that it glides on, not so soft that it breaks every time you go to use it. So this really fits that description perfectly. What's great about this is I have it on right here in the inner part of my upper eye. It does not go from there onto the lower eye. So it really is water resistant. This reminds me a little bit of the Victoria Beckham one, only it has a better consistency in terms of not breaking. And I think it's just as pretty. So highly recommend. And the next one is if you like a felt tip liner, this one is brilliant. Brilliant in that it's easy to apply. It's a felt tip, but you can control it. It's the right thickness. So if you want to make a very fine but dark line, you know, on your upper lash line to create some definition for your eyes without looking really made up, this is a fabulous, fabulous choice. You have to be steady with your hand to do it. It takes a little bit of practice, but you can do a thin line easily, or if you want to, you can even create a cat eye shape with it. So felt tip, great, great, great pen. So now we're on to one of my least favorite product category, and that is brow products. I really don't like putting brows on. I think most people feel the same way, especially as we get older. We don't have as much hair there. They don't stay up like they used to. And then you end up needing, if you want to lift the eye a little bit, you end up needing to draw it up higher than your own, you know, brows are. And you have to be careful with that so it doesn't look weird. So what I found that's the best for that is the Bobbi Brown Precise Brow Pencil. And very important, this is in gray blonde. So one of the problems that I have as a blonde woman is that most of the eyebrow pencils, first of all, getting the right eyebrow color pencil is hugely important. I'm sure you've noticed some people that have brows that are red and they have brown hair, or vice versa. I mean, the color is more important than anything. And I have found most of the taupe or blonde pencils to be too green on me. This gray blonde, they've absolutely nailed it. And I've never seen another color like it. But the other nice thing about this is that it has a very fine tip. You know, one side's flat, one side's thinner than the other side. And you can, you know, it retracts, but then you can just go up just slightly with it because you don't want to break it. Mine hasn't broken yet, but if you, you know, push it up too much, it will. And so it allows you to be very, very precise as you put on your brows. So at the top of my brows, that's not hair, that's the pencil. And then, so this is a brilliant, brilliant pencil for that. And it does have a spoolie at the other end. And then I also will, if I'm getting a little more dressed and want them to look a little more perfect, I use the Anastasia Beverly Hills, their micro stroke brow pen. And this is also a felt tip, but it's much lighter, of course. And this color is taupe, but it's not green. It's more of a gold tone. And so I will use this to draw onto the skin very, very, very light strokes that look like hair. So combining those, if you really want to, you know, do a great job on your brows, the combination of these is really brilliant. And then I finish it off with the Lawless Long Wear Strong Hold Conditioning. It's basically a brow wax. Hold up, soft set, creamy brow wax. And it has small spoolie, and you literally just, you know, run it through and up for your brow hairs to help them stand up and give them more shape. So those three products, when I really want my brows to look good and I'm feeling a little more patient, I will use all three. But most days I just use the one pencil to quickly get my brows drawn on. So now we're on to a tool, and it's a makeup brush, and many of you are probably already familiar with it. It's the IT Cosmetics dual brush, dual-ended brush. I have had this one probably for 20 years, maybe even longer, so it is all cracked through the wood, but the bristles are still totally intact, and this is awesome for, putting on liquid, actually blending cream blushes, even putting on powder, and this fits perfectly under the eye if you want to spread out concealer under your eye or, different places. If you can only have one brush, this is close to doing it all. Now on to my one and only hair product, Bumble and Bumble Bond Building Repair Conditioner, strengthens, repairs, and protects from damage. So this is like giving yourself a hair mask, where you have to leave it on for 20 minutes or sleep in it overnight or whatever. This is a 1 minute after you wash your hair before, and you put this in for a minute and rinse it out. I don't have the patience to do hair masks, but I don't have the patience to do hair masks. But this, I think, has changed my hair. As we get older, our hair gets coarse. Of course, it gets thinner, it gets dull. And this gives it shine and bounce and helps you style better. And it also helps protect you from heat damage. I just think this product is brilliant. And it lasts forever. I mean, I'm looking at it now through the light, and I think it's maybe 1/3 gone, and I bought this months ago. I've got one more item for you, and it's pricey. This is red light therapy for your scalp, and I've been doing red light on my scalp probably for 4 years. My hair had started to thin, and now, I don't know if you can see it, but it's pretty dense, and it's not thinning at all. And I attribute that to the hat. I don't know. You never really know. All I know is I've been doing it. And I know I use it, a different kind, on my chest, and I have no wrinkles and no crepiness on my chest. So red light absolutely works. But it is a one-time investment, and this one is, $449, less 10 or 20%, depending on what discount level that you are at. So that's it for me, guys. I hope you stuck with me, and I hope you end up scoring a few things that you love. So those are my absolute favorite Sephora products, the ones I truly use and love, and the ones I would buy again and again, especially during the Sephora sale. I'm going to link everything below and in the top comment so you can check it out. And I'd love to know, what are your favorite products? And are you planning to grab anything in the sale? Just leave a comment. It's so nice when we all share. So if you found today's video helpful, I hope you will leave me a like or a hype. And if you haven't joined our growing community of like-minded women who want to age beautifully, I hope you will take a moment to do that. And remember, it's time to stop focusing on growing old and start focusing on growing bold. Here's some other videos I've done that you might find interesting. I want to thank you for joining me today, and I wish you a beautiful day.